Browns QB Dillon Gabriel cleared to play, but Shedeur Sanders will start against 49ers. The Cleveland Browns did not hesitate. After watching Shedeur Sanders deliver a poised, promising, and long-awaited spark in his NFL debut, Kevin Stefanski walked into the facility on Monday morning and made the kind of announcement that sent a clear message about the franchise's direction. Shedeur Sanders will start again. The rookie's second NFL start will come against one of the toughest opponents in football, the San Francisco 49ers, a defense that devours inexperienced quarterbacks and exposes every flaw in their game. And yet, after just 1 week with the starting unit, Stefanski is giving Sanders another chance to grow, another chance to stabilize a season defined by quarterback uncertainty, and another chance to prove that Sunday in Las Vegas was no fluke, but the beginning of something real. It would have been easy, even expected, for Stefanski to pivot back to Dillon Gabriel the moment he cleared concussion protocol. Gabriel, the rookie from Mililani High, has been the team's primary starter, logging 6 starts and throwing 7 touchdowns with a respectable 59.2% completion rate. He has flashed competence, shown toughness, and tried to anchor a Browns offense that has been uneven at best. But his 1-5 record and the unit's inconsistency left the door open. And Sanders, with only 1 week of preparation and months of waiting, walked through it. The result, a 24-10 win over the Raiders, forced the Browns to reevaluate not just the position, but the potential future unfolding in real time. Stefanski didn't hide the reasoning. He didn't lean on projections or hype. He spoke plainly, the way coaches do when they see something that convinces them. The number one job of a quarterback is to win, he said. So, excited to get that first win under his belt. And the next thing is improvement. That's what young players do. That's what young quarterbacks do. You get one game better, and that's just from working at it. In other words, Sanders earned this, and he's only getting started. The numbers weren't spectacular, but they were promising: 11 of 20 for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and more importantly, they came in moments that tested his resilience. Sanders delivered the Browns' 2 longest passing plays of the year, a 66-yard catch-and-run touchdown to rookie running back Dylan Sampson, and a 52-yard strike to Isaiah Bond that ripped through the Raiders' secondary. With only a week of practice with the starting offense, Sanders displayed composure and timing that belied his inexperience, taking just 1 sack and managing pressure on 8 of his 21 dropbacks. For Cleveland, those numbers carry weight. They don't just hint at potential. They represent something this franchise has rarely seen from a rookie quarterback stepping into chaos. Calm. Sanders wasn't shaken. He wasn't rattled. He wasn't wide-eyed. He was patient, deliberate, and for the first time all season, the Browns' offense felt like it had rhythm rather than panic driving it. No Browns rookie quarterback had won his first NFL start since Eric Zaire in 1995. Since Cleveland's return as an expansion franchise in 1999, rookie quarterbacks have come and gone, each stepping into a vortex of hope and hardship only to be swallowed by instability. Sanders became the 11th rookie to start a game in that span, and the 13th different starting quarterback in Kevin Stefanski's tenure alone. An astonishing number that illustrates just how turbulent the position has been. Yet Sanders didn't look like another name on that endless carousel. He looked like a reset, a beginning, a possibility finally worth exploring. He admitted after the game that the moment didn't overwhelm him. In fact, it was the opposite. "I felt very relaxed," he said, smiling in a way that seemed to strip away the tension of his NFL arrival. For the first time since being drafted, he had prepared all week with the first team, and it showed. The timing, the rhythm, the anticipation all clicked in ways they never could in a limited backup role. And Stefanski, who has watched this team cycle through quarterbacks at an exhausting pace, saw enough to give Sanders the job for another week, and perhaps longer. Sanders' NFL journey began abruptly 2 weeks ago when Dillon Gabriel suffered a concussion against the Baltimore Ravens, thrusting the rookie into a game he had barely prepared to play. He struggled through that half, tossing an interception and fighting the Ravens' relentless defense. But on Sunday in Las Vegas, he looked like a quarterback who learned from every snap, absorbed every mistake, and responded with something steadier, something tougher, something the Browns have been desperate to see. Joe Flacco opened the season as the starter before being traded to Cincinnati in early October. Gabriel took over, battled, absorbed pressure, and fought through his own share of adversity. Now, Sanders steps into the role with his first win behind him and one of the NFL's most daunting challenges ahead. For the first time in a long time, the Browns aren't just reacting to quarterback chaos. They're watching a quarterback grow. And on Sunday, against the 49ers, Sanders will have the chance to take his next step. In Cleveland, that alone feels like progress. What makes this moment so compelling for Cleveland is not just the change at quarterback, but the shift in energy that followed Sanders onto the field. For months, the Browns' offense has felt reactive, adjusting, surviving, improvising, rather than dictating the game. On Sunday, even with a limited playbook and only a week of synced timing, Sanders injected purpose into every possession. Suddenly, the receivers ran routes with sharper conviction. The offensive line fired off the ball with a little more urgency. The huddle felt steadier, more unified, as if the presence of a young quarterback with something to prove awakened instincts that had been dormant all season. And now Sanders walks into a matchup against a 49ers team renowned for turning rookies inside out, compressing pockets, and forcing quarterbacks into hurried decisions. It will be a baptism by fire, perhaps even harsher than the Ravens game he was thrown into earlier this month. Yet there's a growing sense in Cleveland that the result matters less than the response. The Browns want to see Sanders process faster, anticipate better, and show that the flashes in Las Vegas weren't an anomaly but the foundation of who he can become. They want to see growth, and growth often happens against the fiercest opponents. The coaching staff already sees differences. Stefanski praised Sanders' toughness, his composure, and his willingness to take accountability for mistakes rather than deflect them. That resonates inside a locker room that has endured turnover, adversity, and inconsistency at the position for years. Sanders doesn't walk around like a rookie waiting for permission to lead. He walks like someone who understands that NFL windows don't stay open long, and that this opportunity, however unexpected, is his to seize. For Cleveland fans, conditioned to wait for disappointment, this moment feels strangely hopeful. Not because Sanders has already arrived, but because he looks like someone worth developing, someone worth investing in, someone whose presence finally breaks the cycle of temporary fixes and short-term band-aids. Whether he thrives against the 49ers or battles through the turbulence, the direction feels different. And in Cleveland, different is refreshing.